Greetings. I would be with you here this year, but I am recovering from surgery. I want you to be sure to see the invitation to the dedication of the John C. and Mariana Jones Hungry Land Wildlife Environmental Area. I thank all of you, especially Manly Fuller and Jim Schutte, for arranging this event and the plaque that is on display. It's right over here, if you didn't see it in the hallway earlier. It is magnificent. Frank Montalbano is very deserving to be recognized and loudly applauded for all he has done for Florida and its wildlife. I'm not sure that Frank made it down from Tallahassee, but he intends to be in the West Palm Beach. So in addition, in 2002, Frank initiated getting the Florida Freshwater Fish and Wildlife Commission to name the area for us. My family is continually thankful to him. Next, Florida Wildlife Federation history needs to be told. I appreciate what was done last year at the 75th anniversary, but it's got a tiny amount of the rich history of our great organization. I ask you to join me in telling the story of the Florida Wildlife Federation and continuing to tell because it gets better and better. She is donating the original copy of the magazine article that appeared in Sports Illustrated. Now I want you to look at this closely because nobody has ever seen this picture. Everybody that year, that was 1981, and everybody that year was waiting to turn to this great article. I'm going to quote Johnny from this article, Trouble in Paradise. You're going to take a deep breath. With the exception, Johnny, with the exception of Warren Henderson, and I will note Warren was a Republican from Sarasota, so that gives you some place to go. There never was a better environmental senator than Bob Graham. In 1981, he was, of course, governor. But as governor, he has wandered away from us. I can't even get in to talk with him. And I run the biggest conservation organization in Florida. People say he's gotten more conservative, more right-wing, so he can run for president, and to do that, he has to pacify people who don't like environmentalists, like the Sugarcane League and the agribusiness and the biggies. I'm a conservative. And to me, that means I conserve clean air and clean water as well as water. So that's a direct quote. And this article really raised a ruckus. 10 years earlier, Governor Askew, at the Conference of Water Management, he had convened this Conference of Water Management, and it issued some Everglades restoration recommendations, many of them coming from Art Marshall, who was among the 350 participants. But none of those recommendations was acted upon. The conference did result in the creation of 3 new water management districts, a total of 5. Nothing happened on Everglades restoration until Sports Illustrated. And Estes Whitfield, many of you know him, he advised something like 5 or 6 governors. Estes Whitfield got the task of carrying the magazine into the governor's office. And he said to the governor, there's some good news here and some bad news here. The good news is on the front, Christy Brinkley in her swimsuit. But then as Estes recounted in his oral history interview at the University of Florida, I think with Samuel Proctor, the bad news is inside. To see such a popular national magazine lambasting Florida for its mismanagement of the Everglades, and to read criticism by Jones, a political friend and supporter who had a big following in the state, made a powerful impression on Graham. I do not ever remember a time thereafter, Estes said, that the environment was not at the top of Graham's agenda. After the Sports Illustrated article, Governor Graham did invite Johnny to meet with him. And Johnny took Art Marshall and they laid out an Everglades restoration plan as shown here. Care for the Earth. In the plan, which was later published by Friends of the Everglades, it was, and had been developed in the kitchen of Mariana and Johnny Jones, which was then the headquarters of Florida Wildlife Federation. So we can take a lot of credit for this. Johnny quickly named it the Marshall Plan, both in honor of Art Marshall and his work, and to signify that this undertaking would be very similar to the rebuilding of Europe. Now, I recognize that's a generational quote. For people my age, rebuilding Europe was the Marshall Plan. If you check on the internet and you go to Marshall Plan, you'll find the rebuilding of Europe. But for us, we have a devastated Everglades and we're rebuilding. So Mariana is providing this copy of the original Marshall Plan, and I think it's realistic to say, yes, it will take just about 50 years to do, but we are working on it, and this is for our history collection. Now, 3 decades later, things are getting started, and Mariana says, this is the heart of our message. Even more efforts are needed by you. Otherwise, all of our past efforts will be for naught. So with that, I'm going to put these two display items on the table by the plaque. Please go up and take a look at the plaque. You'll just be amazed that one man could do so much for the conservation and the natural lands and waters of Florida. So we use all Florida Wildlife Federation, and Manly has been a wonderful second act, and is on his own map.